These are my bikes. Yes, there are many like these bikes, but these bikes are mine. Hello YouTubers, subscribers and friends, welcome back to my channel. You're probably asking yourself, hey Bat, where have you been? How come you haven't been doing motovlogs? Well, I'm going to tell you a little story, what had happened and why I stopped doing motovlogs. I'm 56 and a half years old right now, and a couple days before my 50th birthday, I was having issues with my eyesight and massive headaches. So my wife convinced me to go to the doctor, and it turns out, after several doctor visits and blood tests, that I am diabetic. I was losing my eyesight because my blood sugar was so high. My blood pressure was so high, it was causing the massive headaches and causing me to be off balance. I didn't have my balance that I needed to ride a motorcycle, so I had stopped riding. And to keep me from stop riding, I sold the motorcycle. So what have I been doing? Well, after the doctor's advice, he told me he was shocked that I haven't had a stroke yet. And because my blood pressure and blood sugar was so high that he was shocked I haven't had a stroke. And 30 days later, after he told me I was diabetic, I had a stroke, and that stroke nearly took me out. I was sitting in my computer chair. My whole left side of my body started going completely worthless. My face went numb, like it was melting, and I started getting tunnel vision, like I was going to black out. And I realized I was having a stroke, and I tried to call out for my daughter. She was the only one home with me at the time, and she was just looking at me on her phone, thinking I was pranking her. But I was sitting in my chair, felt like I was melting on my whole left side of my body. It was extremely painful. It was scary, and that was enough to wake me up out of my I don't know, brain fog of not believing that I was diabetic. Long story short, I came out of the stroke. It took me a long time to recover from it. I changed my diet and started exercising. I bought a treadmill, started walking. Didn't like the treadmill, and I told my wife I'm going to start walking at the park. So I took my dog Jerry Lee, my miniature schnauzer, the adventure dog, and I started walking every day at the park. And after several months, I was feeling better, getting my strength back, and I decided to build this tiny house. My wife's always wanted a tiny house, and I figured because I had that near-death experience, scared the tar out of me, I'm going to build this tiny house. So I spent all my time and energy and focused it on building this tiny house, which took 4 months to build, and continued every day walking at the park, you know, trying to control my blood sugars and blood pressure. I refuse to take any kind of medicine because I'm a naturalist. I want to do everything natural, and continue to have problems, but not as bad as they were. But I realized really quick, after about a year and a half of dealing with all this stuff, and I saw I was losing weight, I changed my diet completely. I started doing keto lifestyle. I stumbled onto Dr. Eric Berg on YouTube, started intermittent fasting, and realized that if you don't put the crap in your body will heal. And what I mean by crap, I mean processed food, fast foods, sugars, caffeine. I stopped drinking Starbucks. I was drinking at the time 5 or 6 Starbucks, sweet tea Starbucks a day. And I was drinking Thai tea, which is extremely, really sweet. And I decided, you know, at 50 years old, I'm too young to die. I'm not ready to die. And I'm going to make these changes. I'm going to do it all naturally. So here we are, 56 and a half years later. I'm all better. I don't have any diabetic issues. I don't have any blood pressure issues. My blood sugars are completely normal. They've been like that for about 3 years because of the lifestyle changes I made. And I haven't fallen off the wagon at all. I went from 289 pounds to 170 pounds, and I credit it all to a healthy diet and exercising. So After I got done building this tiny house, I got tired of walking at the park. I started doing hiking videos, which you can find on my I Seek Out the Truth channel. I hiked every single day. I hiked for miles and miles and miles. My son saw the progress I was having, and he decided to join me, and he went from almost like 310 pounds all the way down to, I think he's 165 pounds now, doing the keto lifestyle also. My health scare scared my whole family. We've all made drastic changes in our life. Now, like I said, I've been hiking for 6.5 years out in the Arizona desert. I want to change it up. I started noticing these mountain bikers. They would pass me on the trails all the time, and I was going up some really steep rocky hills and climbing cliffs and stuff like that, and it was just amazing to stand back and watch these guys do these extreme trails on these mountain bikes. So my sister gave me this bike. Now, after watching mountain bike videos for the last, say 3 months, I'm learning more and more about mountain biking. My sister gave me this mountain bike in October 2019. I rode it a couple times. It was too hard to ride. Through 2020, I made several, 5 or 6 videos of me riding on the trails. I crashed so many times. I'm riding without any gear. And the reason this bike is so high, this is what they call a soft tail. I mean a rigid tail. It's because it doesn't have any shocks on the back here, and this is a solid rigid rear frame right here. It's got shocks up on the front, but this bike does not have a derailleur, so I was stuck in one gear riding. And it's okay on flat land, but trying to go up any hills is just impossible. I have no back brakes. I crashed. I had a derailleur and back brakes, and I crashed and it snapped the back brakes and broke off the derailleur. I have no cables to shift any into the higher gear, so this bike was getting impossible. So I took this bike. As you can see, there's no cables here. It's only front brakes. That's sketchy. Riding downhill with only front brakes is very sketchy. But I've been riding bikes my whole life. BMX, I rode BMX up until I was 30 years old, doing freestyle, flat land, and ramp riding and dirt jumping. So I'm no stranger to bike riding, but I've never ridden mountain bikes up until last year. You know, throughout the year I've been riding this bike. It's been very hard. So I took this bike to the bike shop. They want $300 to get this bike ready. The front shocks need to be rebuilt. The brakes need to be changed. The cables for that seat sucks. Hurt my butt. And it needs tires. So I didn't want to get rid of this bike. I want to hang on to it because my sister gave it to me. It's a really nice bike, but it's a little bit tall. It's a 29-incher. It's too tall for me. So after they told me the price, $300 to fix this, I told my wife, that's crazy. I'm not spending $300 to fix this bike when it's too big for me to ride. Really, I can't even touch the ground, you know. So I told her I'm going to go shopping, and I'm going to find me a cheap, good used mountain bike. I have no idea about this brand, FVI Pacific. Know nothing about it, but this is what they call a full suspension mountain bike, because it has the monoshock here and it has the shocks up here. These are hand protectors. It has the cables and gears, so I can switch, and this thing rides like a Rolls Royce compared to that one. So that's a full suspension mountain bike right there. Don't know if it's a name brand, don't really care, because like when I first started playing golf, you know, I went to a yard sale and I bought a bag of golf clubs for 20 bucks, and I started practicing every day with pitching, putting, and going to the driving range. You know, you got to start off as a rookie. You can't just put on Michael Jordan tennis shoes and be able to jump from the free throw and do a slam dunk. It ain't gonna happen. So you have to start at the bottom, learn what it's like to ride a bike, you know, and learn what it's like to fall. So this bike is got a gel seat. It's a very comfortable seat. I have the original seat that comes with this bike, and full suspension. That's a rigid tail there. This is a full rigid mountain bike. Now I bought this bike and this bike at the same place for 160 bucks. They wanted 200 for both bikes, but I only wanted to buy that bike, but they talked me into buying this bike. But I told them I didn't want to spend 100 bucks for this bike because this is a lot smaller than that bike. That's full suspension. This has no suspension on it whatsoever. They thought this was a shock, but it turns out this is a pump. and it comes with some tools here, and this also has a gel seat also. This has front and back brakes. This also rides like a dream, like a Rolls Royce. It needs grips, you know, but that's nothing. I can ride it like that. So I got this full rigid frame mountain bike. It's a 26 incher. No, it's a 24 incher. That's a 26 incher, and both of these got good tires. So I'm going to keep that bike. Hopefully one day I will fix it. This one I'm going to use for the severe mountain bike trails because it's full suspension. And this bike right here I will use for the easy trails and riding on the Tucson bike loop, because this thing rides so smooth. It's like a luxury bike. And my son likes to ride that one, so him and I can ride these bikes together on some of the trails and the Tucson bicycle loop. So they also have a mountain bike, what they call the Softail, where they have a suspension in the back but a rigid in the front, forks. So don't quote me on this stuff. I'm just learning. Like I said, I am a rookie at riding mountain bikes. I know BMX. I know the lingo to BMX. I'm trying to learn the lingo to this mountain bike riding. And I tell you what, after watching these mountain bike videos and then going out and riding several trails already on this one, I have much more respect for mountain bikers, because this is a full 100% body workout. Like I said, I do my hikes and I could hike for 10, 15 miles and not even be tired. But this one right here, these bikes will wear you out. They will exhaust you completely. So this is what I'm going to be doing on this channel. No, I won't be doing moto vlogs. Maybe down the years, down the road, I might buy another motorcycle if I can get the support on this channel. People watching my videos, you know, supported me. I'm not e-begging. I'm not asking for money, but if you watch the videos from beginning to end, that helps out YouTube content creators a lot. Letting the ads run and stuff like that. So if I'm able to generate an income on this channel, I make money on this channel right now, but nothing like I used to be. But that's not my goal. My goal is to continue riding mountain bikes and continue learning and continue better exercising my body and getting my body back into shape, because like I said, I'm 56 and a half years old. I'm in no way ready to grow old and sit on a porch with a rocking chair. I got way too much energy for that. And this is my mountain bike story. I'm also going to take this bike right here, this one here, and I'm going to ride it at the skate park. I'm also looking for a BMX, because the reason I want to get a BMX is the BMX will bring back the muscle memory on how to do bunny hops, how to whip the bike around 180s and 360s. I can do all that stuff, you know, on quarter pipes and stuff like that. So I'm no stranger to that, but I am definitely a rookie at riding these mountain bikes. So if you enjoy mountain bike videos, if you enjoy my content, and you want to come along with me on my journey of mountain bike riding and learning how to mountain bike riding, you know, hit that subscribe button. It don't cost you anything. It's free. Give me a thumbs up. It helps out with the algorithms. Is that how you say it? I don't know why I had a hard time saying that. And leave me a comment down below. Even though I haven't been motovlogging, I have continued to respond to everybody commenting on my motovlog videos. So that's my video there. That's the tiny house I built before I kicked the bucket. And hopefully I got another 40 years left in me. Remember, eat healthy, exercise, and you too can get into shape and maybe one day ride a mountain bike. Thanks for taking the time to watch my videos, and the Lord willing, the creeks don't rise. I'll see you guys in my next video. I'm gone. I'm gone.